The Hwang-Song-18 is North Korea's latest solid-fuel nuclear missile. It was launched for testing on July 12, 2023 from a location northeast of Pyongyang and ended up crashing around 150 miles west of Japan's Okushiri Island. This event caused immediate concern, with the US, South Korea, and Japan quickly condemning the test. This led to the UN Security Council to urgently meet and discuss the situation. In a swift response, China pointed fingers at the US, claiming it was the main cause of instability in the region. But why does China defend North Korea, especially when it upsets major trading partners like South Korea, the US, and Japan? And why does China risk worsening its tense relationship with the US, especially over issues like Taiwan, which it doesn't claim as its own? The answer lies in how important North Korea is to China's security. China values its security from the perspective of Beijing, where most of its population and elite are concentrated. About 57% of Chinese people live within 750 miles of Beijing, making it China's focal point. Understanding this helps explain why China views the Korean Peninsula the way it does. China views Taiwan as very important politically. Yet in terms of security, aside from blocking China's access to open waters, Taiwan is seen as a distant area without any US military forces, at least for now. However, China's perspective shifts significantly when it looks at Korea. It sees Korea as a neighboring potential threat. Historically, Korea has been the scene of two wars involving China in the last 100 years and is now home to American troops and nuclear missiles. Beijing's defense experts are particularly focused on two security concerns regarding Korea. First, they consider Korea's strategic importance if there were ever a land invasion targeting China. Second, they see Korea as a critical first step in a chain of islands. First point, land invasion. Korea's location makes it essential for China's military planners, acting as a shield for Beijing and its northeastern areas. Korea is like a buffer, keeping potential enemies at bay. Since 1949, thanks to a defense pact with North Korea, China has had a kind of protective barrier against the US on the peninsula. From China's viewpoint, the US military's presence in Korea is a big problem for their security. The US has 6 major military bases there with around 26,000 troops. They also have powerful weapons like nuclear submarines, strategic bombers, and advanced air defenses. These capabilities are not just aimed at North Korea, but also represent a potential threat to China's military strength. North Korea's close distance to Seoul means that the city is within reach of North Korean artillery, giving North Korea a strong position to deter the United States. American military strategies have to consider the safety of the millions living in Seoul who could be at risk from North Korean attacks in any conflict. North Korea's nuclear weapons add another layer of complexity to any military planning. But it's not just about traditional military strength. The geography of the Korean Peninsula makes South Korea almost like an island, reliant on air and sea for outside assistance. North Korea has ramped up its cyber attacks targeting South Korean infrastructure. Everything from hospitals to power plants and military communications to broadcast networks is vulnerable to these cyber intrusions. This cyber warfare is a key part of North Korea's strategy to intimidate. North Korean hackers are not just a problem for South Korea. They've also penetrated US cybersecurity. Reports suggest that nearly half of North Korea's international funds come from cybercrimes, including cybercurrency scams, identity theft, and stealing online data. It's worryingly easy to find personal information online in the US, with websites selling everything from basic details like names and addresses to more sensitive data like criminal records, health histories, and social security numbers. Now let's talk about China's security focus, particularly on the North and Northeast China plains. For China, the Korean Peninsula is a bigger immediate security concern than Taiwan because it shares a land border with China. While Taiwan is about 1,000 miles away from Beijing, Pyongyang is only about 500 miles away. The military bases around Pyongyang, some of which hold North Korea's nuclear weapons, are the foreign military sites closest to Beijing. But it's not just about how close they are. The strategic importance of the Korean Peninsula goes beyond just geography. When Chinese strategists look at their border with North Korea, they focus on two key geographical features. Firstly, there's the Changbak or Changbai mountain range, which runs almost the entire length of the border. This range includes Mount Bakdu, the highest peak on the Korean Peninsula, reaching 2,700 meters, about 8,858 feet. These mountains serve as a natural defense, creating a formidable barrier between China's northeast, historically known as Manchuria, and North Korea. Secondly, there's a stretch of flat land that links the plains south of Seoul to one of the most populated areas on the planet, the North China Plain. This strip is the primary potential path for any invasion force aiming at China's densely populated and strategically crucial heartland, which houses the nation's demographic, military, and political cores. The low-lying areas along China's border with Korea, with an average elevation below 400 meters, have historically been paths for invaders, like during the Japanese invasion of Manchuria. This vast region, comparable in size to Turkey, houses over 500 million people. Particularly China's northeast provinces near the border have seen numerous invasions, with the Japanese and Soviets being notable recent examples. This area, populous as California, Texas, and Florida combined, is crucial for China for several reasons. First, it's China's industrial heartland, often compared to America's Rust Belt, where a significant portion of heavy industry and military manufacturing occurs. For instance, Shenyang is known for producing important Chinese military aircraft like the J-11, J-15, and the FC-31, a fifth-generation fighter in development. Second, this region is China's agricultural powerhouse thanks to its fertile black soil. Although it makes up only 11% of China's land area, it contributes a third of the country's total crop production. Third, the Northeast is vital for China's energy production, particularly oil and coal. The Daking oil field, once the largest in China until 2021, significantly supported China's industrialization, especially during the Great Leap Forward. Although now surpassed by the Bohai Sea fields, the Northeast remains a significant energy producer. Besides these roles, the Korean Peninsula is key in China's first island chain strategy, serving as a strategic linchpin. While the island chain concept is broadly acknowledged, China's interpretation and strategic perspective on it differ from the common understanding, emphasizing the peninsula's unique position and its regional security calculus. In Western perspectives, particularly seen in U.S. Department of Defense maps, the first island chain usually starts in Japan. However, Chinese official maps present two key differences. Firstly, they extend the starting point of the island chain to the southern tip of the Kamchatka Peninsula, reflecting China's historical view, which includes the Pacific coast of Manchuria, a region under the Qing Empire until 1858 due to the Treaty of Agun. Secondly, the chain, while extending southward through Japan, also strategically encompasses the Korean Peninsula, underlining its significant role in China's geostrategic interests. This perspective doesn't just see the chain starting at Kamchatka or Japan. From China's modern viewpoint, considering historical claims, in Vladivostok's Golden Horn area, the chain essentially begins in Korea. When viewing Korea as an island, considering its political and geographical isolation, it effectively represents the initial point of the island chain. This perspective places the Korean Peninsula ahead of Taiwan in Beijing security considerations, particularly regarding its critical position in controlling access to the Yellow Sea. The Yellow Sea, located between China's northeastern coast and the Korean Peninsula, holds substantial military and strategic value. It's crucial for China's sea lines of communication, SLOC, supporting its geostrategic goals and military operations, highlighting Korea's pivotal role in this strategic framework. China's dependence on the Yellow Sea for its sea lines of communication, SLOC, is based on some critical aspects. The Yellow Sea is the gateway to the Bohai Sea, which is vital for resupplying and defending Beijing, the heart of China's political and administrative functions. This maritime route is a cornerstone of Chinese military strategy, ensuring that the capital and its surrounding regions remain connected and secure. The Yellow Sea is also pivotal for China's energy and resource independence. It's a key area for oil and liquefied natural gas (LNG) shipments, hosting some of China's largest ports in these sectors. The energy resources accessed through the Yellow Sea are crucial for the country's economy stability and support its military capabilities, with significant oil and LNG ports located along this body of water. Beyond economic importance, the Yellow Sea facilitates the movement of China's military forces. It allows for quick deployment or repositioning of troops and resources between northern and southern parts of the country, which is crucial during conflicts or heightened regional tensions. This mobility provides China with enhanced military flexibility and preparedness. While the Yellow Sea is strategically vital, it also introduces complex naval challenges, as control and security of these waters are essential for maintaining China's regional dominance and safeguarding its interests. The Yellow Sea's strategic importance is matched by its complexity, particularly due to two main factors. With an average depth of only 144 feet, 44 meters, the Yellow Sea presents challenges for naval operations, especially for submarines. This shallow nature complicates submarine warfare and intelligence gathering, as submarines have limited room to maneuver covertly. Additionally, the sea's shallowness increases the risk of underwater infrastructure, like pipelines and internet cables, making them more prone to disruptions. The Yellow Sea is a bustling corridor with major commercial ports like Incheon, Qingdao, and Tianjin, leading to heavy maritime traffic. This congestion makes it difficult to differentiate between military and commercial vessels, increasing the risk of accidental or international engagements during conflicts. The waters are shared by several navies, including those of North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and the United States. North Korea's large submarine fleet and South Korea's sophisticated naval assets, coupled with the presence of U.S. naval forces, including nuclear submarines and aircraft carriers, add layers of military complexity to the area. A significant tension point is the Northern Limit Line, highlighted by the 2010 incident where a North Korean torpedo sank the rocks Cheonan, killing 46 sailors. Such incidents underscore the Korean Peninsula's strategic value to China, particularly concerning the Yellow Sea, is immense, often surpassing the emphasis placed on Taiwan. Understanding these intricate dynamics is key to interpreting China's regional strategies and its prioritization of the Korean Peninsula in its security and geostrategic planning. The Yellow Sea's potential as a conflict flashpoint, directly affecting China's security interests. That's all we have for you today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos. We'll be back soon.